Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along what you need to know to get better at Madden and grow your Mutt team. Enjoy the show. Today we are back to talk about Madden 20 Ultimate Team and the things that will be coming out tomorrow that came out today and that came out yesterday. The first thing that we'll be talking about that we did touch on previously was house rules coming out on Tuesday, and they are running this all the way through Sunday, Monday morning. So you can go in and get these knocked out. I'm very excited about these. M through 34, I believe. Haven't gotten into it too much, but thankfully only 16 wins away from getting to that 50 mark. It's really not the hardest thing to do to go in and play with the college rules. It really should only last 2 possessions at the absolute most. Just go for two your second or your first time. If the first team scores and just get things over with, kick a field goal if you're way far back on the first drive and just hold them for a touchdown. Hopefully the other guy understands that and then tries to throw for a touchdown as well instead of just kicking a field goal and making it go back and forth. But not too much to bring you on that. Don't go in and just toss up everything and just play loose with it. I would definitely advise scheming up a new offense or going through and doing this with a purpose. You can absolutely level grind. That has diminished slightly. Aren't getting the 4 quarters. You do get 25 XP, but that is not nearly 4 quarters that people were getting the first 6 hours, I believe, of the game. So it is a great way to go in and do that and also grind up your stats and get some rewards that way. Again, games should only last 3 to 5 minutes, so really is not that hard to get to 50. And to be honest, it is actually a really fun mode. Games get over really quickly. You are just able to get in and have a good time with it. It's not something that's going to drag out. The games aren't going to count if you get disconnected. It's not in a row thing. It's a cumulative score, so that is really nice as well. Thankfully, they did drop that patch that did help that out slightly, but it could have been a little bit better. Right now, we are going to continue on and just pull a few more packs in the background. Today's signature series, yes, today, it is Thursday, did come out. McCaffrey and Eddie Jackson, so it is exciting to see both of them in the game. Their players potentially could be a little bit better, especially for their price point. But we will check on those here in a little bit as well. We'll see if we can open up those other packs and get anything worthwhile. The main thing that I did want to talk about this evening will be coming out tomorrow. A big promo. It is going to be Theme Diamonds, so it is going to continue up with the theme team idea and try to build upon that, and hopefully you're able to get your theme team juiced up a little bit with the veteran player that will be coming out. It will be a player that has played in the past, not a player that is currently on your roster right now. So that is something that is exciting, just bringing some more players into the game. Hopefully you are able to get something out of these midfield packs. These packs could potentially be helpful for tomorrow. Hopefully things do rise a little bit and we do get a little bit lucky and pull something decent out of these. Thankfully that did not happen this time. Those lower level cards really are worth a few thousand coins, so it's really not the worst thing in the world to actually be pulling these packs at this point instead of getting the quick sells. Just a side note on that. After we get this other midfield pack open, we'll go check out McCaffrey and Eddie Jackson and see what they look like. And after we're done with that, look at what Theme Diamonds could potentially be. Last year we did get an elite, thankfully. 81 overall, definitely will take that. So yeah, we should be break even with both the packs. Theme Diamonds are things that will build upon your theme team. Players that you will have in your binder that you potentially already have on your theme team. You'll be having to put them into
those sets, so they potentially could be things that you want to stock up on today. As you can see up on the screen now, they do have the signature players up. I really do like what they did with these players, making them the signature cards. These are things that came out in packs, and it is just kind of exciting to pull packs again and potentially get one of those cards that is a little bit special. They will only be in packs until Saturday morning, so you're able to pull potential limited time almost every week now from Thursday through Sunday. So they understand when people are getting money and when they could potentially use it and be on in the game. So they're definitely taking advantage of that. And people who are pulling packs are getting rewarded as well, because these cards are going for a significant amount. This year, you potentially know already, but these limited time cards cannot be power up past, so you will have to have this card after the end of this series. Kind of like Series 1 with Von Miller, they'll have new cards come out with them. These cards will go back into packs and they won't be limited anymore. So that is just something to think about. But looking at McCaffrey, if you need someone to catch the ball, he's absolutely perfect at that. If you need someone to run between the tackles, I would definitely not advise him. At this point in the game, he can be special and a little bit scary out of the backfield. He can outrun or at least run with any defensive back. So just keep that in mind. So if you can run with every defensive back, you can outrun almost every linebacker except for Shaz. So definitely a mismatch there. If you want to put ability on him and do something like a Kamara could do in regs, he would be very dangerous at that. But I would potentially wait for Kamara back there. But looking at that Eddie Jackson, I guess we can just wait till we get him pulled up. But he is also a player I would potentially stay away from unless you absolutely love him as a player. With defensive backs, ones with this shallow of speed, everyone just kind of think of a Harrison Smith, just not able to get the job done in that fashion. He's the best free safety in the game, probably. There are some that are faster that you would almost consider to be better, and you might want to just use your free safety and have, I wouldn't say an app key for an absolutely elite team, but for a mid-range team, an app key as a free safety might be someone you just want to use back there and not cost yourself 1.1 million coins for a card that will not last very long on your team as wide receivers continue to fly past him. So looking at themed diamonds last year, if you were trying to go for the Packers player, you would have to go out and acquire every elite down to 72 overall golds and then put them into the set, get that one player back, and then lose all those players, but then you will also get a little bit of a money bonus back if that player cost you a little bit more or he might not be quite as valuable. So those are things to think about. Packers would probably be a halfway inexpensive one to do. Aaron Rodgers would really be only halfway expensive one. I might just pick up a few Packers. I hadn't really looked at this quite yet, but the Giants would also be a very inexpensive one to potentially do. They did discuss potentially using lower overall players, and I would anticipate these theme diamonds to be less overall than what they did have last year. A sweet spot, I think they should come out as is 86 to 88 and just make these sets a little bit easier, potentially have some of this go through solos and have potential gold player packs pop out of those. That'd be very beneficial for this. Really would fit well with what you're trying to do to acquire some of these. Last year it was really beneficial and was a big talk on everyone's YouTube channel of what you should be pulling at the beginning of the year, who had the highest elites, and just thinking about it in that way. It's a potential financial risk. If you are investing in some of these, I'm not going to focus on any one team in particular except for Washington and just pick up a few of their elites. So if things do rise significantly, I will just be able to have them at least be able to be completed in the near future. These cards will be completed as people have these huge coin stacks now. They will be available hopefully on the market as well. So that'd be a good way to go out and pick up some of these players if you don't want to go about picking up the pieces, but picking up the pieces as snipes over a couple days is a good way of doing it as well if you want to do it a little bit less expensively. But just something to think about. These cards are all maxed out because of training to a certain extent, so none of these sets are going to be anywhere near cheap. As you can see, some of the 74s and 77s are up to 15,000 as people know what is coming tomorrow. So definitely get in on picking up some of the key players for your team if you see them very inexpensively. Last year it was just elites and those golds, so I would definitely focus on those and maybe focus a little bit lower. I think the sweet spot would be between 75 and 81s. I think those will probably all go into the set. They could split it up into two different pieces, which would be really nice, like what they had done last year, and have an offense and a defensive player. So they have the offensive player come out first, put all those offensive players into that set, and potentially have a couple randoms. Excuse me, I think they have done away with badges, so I don't know what else you would do to fill that out, but maybe it's every offensive player on your team, and then you would potentially, for your theme team, excuse me, and then you would get that one veteran from the past that you could add to your team. I think that would be the perfect way to do it. Have 32 players come out tomorrow, potentially even 16, and do that for the next 4 Fridays, or have it split up 32 and 32. I think that would be an absolutely huge drop, but it is something they should do at some point this year. They have been splitting up promos, so having something that large, I think, is a really good idea. But that is what I have for you at this point in time. There is quite a bit going on with this early season of Mutt, but I wish you all the best and hope you do have the best opportunity to go out and get some of those cards tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
So I do have a little bit to add on here at the end. Themed diamonds have sort of been dropped. At least we do have 4 of them. The first one being up is Deuce Mcallister. Looking at an 89 overall. Again, very low speed, but tremendous trucking. Deuce could be loose and could be someone you want to look at to add to your ultimate team. Moving on to Donald Driver, coming up with 87 speed. Again, very solid for what we do have in the game. So very excited about what he can potentially bring to the field with all that route running. Looks very similar to Marvin Harrison. And an 88 overall. Looks like we're going to have the best free safety in Merton Hanks. Another 49er claiming that best free safety position early on in the year. Not terribly disappointed in it. I hope they have his next celebration. Wish I could put that on here, but I don't believe that works so very well with copyrights. Definitely go check it out on YouTube, though. And last up, we have Charles Tillman. And if he can't punch the ball out as well as he did in real life, I feel as if that's a travesty. Hopefully, he just has that built into his card. But at this point, I do not believe they will have that. They just have the ×3 bears up there. They don't have anything about those abilities at all. But just wanted to add that in, a little bit more solidarity on what we will be bringing, or not solidarity, but more of a solidified look at what we will be seeing tomorrow with those 88 and 89 overall theme diamonds.
Thank you for checking into the Irish Orangutan channel. Keep coming back for more Madden knowledge. There will be consistent videos up every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to see them all. Come by Twitch to engage and hit me up on Twitter at Irish Orangutan. Take care and much love, everybody.